My dad was into everything natural. And okay, here's my intro. Let me just erase that right here and go simple. My name's A-Z. No, I don't like that. A-Z-I-Z-A-K-I-B-I-B-I. Okay. Hey. I'm Aziza Kibibi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, this is going to be a little different. It's going to be like a mix of story time and also cutting my hair. Now, I've cut my hair random times in my life, and I'm sure any woman can relate. We go through different stages in our life where we feel like we need a change. Well, for me, it's really more about going through like a cleansing, kind of removing old ideas or old habits, or even preparing for a new stage in my life. But I must confess, that's not the only reason why I'm cutting my hair. But before I get into that, please remember to subscribe to my channel and also like this video. And of course, as usual, I can encourage all of my viewers to go down in the comments with your questions, concerns, and opinions and your perspective. I really love engaging with my community, and I think that it's important for us to learn and grow. So the other part of this video, along with story time, does have to do with a lot of the things that I speak about on my channel, which deals with me surviving horrendous, debilitating abuse from my father. Sexual abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. I want to talk a little bit about grooming, because not just grooming, not just, hair grooming, not just makeup, or taking care of yourself, but the grooming of children and how predators groom children and the psychological games that they play on their minds in order to make them afraid, compliant, and even to seduce them. So that's really what I'm going to talk about as I very bravely explore cutting about, I don't know, I think I'm probably gonna cut off maybe about 4 inches. I feel like my hair is not even 4 inches, but cutting off some of my hair into a style that's a little more manageable, and also just like getting it to a place where I feel like it could start over. So I'm about to get my scissors and begin. What a mercy. And I'm being really brave here because I have an event tonight for work. So I really like Pixie cuts. I'm gonna share a picture of when I shaved my hair completely off as an adult. And I realized that I had did it not long after my daughter passed away, and her hair had been cut really low to her head, and her hair was like this lightish, kind of like a light brown color. Her hair had been cut really close to her head because she had spinal muscular atrophy and phenylketonuria, also known as PKU. And while the doctors were trying to figure out how to manage her diet to positively affect the PKU while getting some weight on her, because she was very low weight, because of the PKU, and just figuring out what the right balance of calories and amino acids was for her, she started losing her hair. So we cut it off really low. And I think, the trauma that I dealt with in losing her, I then missed her a great deal, and I cut my hair, and it turned out it looked like her haircut when I had to cut her hair off because she was losing it in clumps. So I cut it off really low, and I would like brush it forward. So as you can see, my hair is I don't even know what texture it really is. I know people get into like the 4C and 3C and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know what my texture is, but it's fine. It's very fine. I guess it's a little on the straight side. I pulled this out of China bumps. You all know them as Bantu knots. Because it's fine, I prefer it fuller. I have some barber scissors here, but for some reason I thought they were a lot bigger. I guess I must have bought these just for trimming. So I'm going to have to use my fabric cutting scissors for this. You know, when in a bind, use what you got. I'm recording. Can we turn that down some? Okay. I'm kind of nervous, y'all. And this is crazy. I'm going to do this while I'm talking. I'm telling a story. Whew. Okay. So the first time I cut my hair, let's start. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to do this. Should I do it in sections? What do y'all think? I feel like one side of my hair is longer than the other side. And I decided to do this dry with the curls in because, you know, I want to see how it would look. Just cut. Here we go. The first time I cut my hair, my dad was into everything natural. And damn, I wanted this long enough to braid, but I guess not. To do my protective style still, but I guess not. We'll see. Well, my hair will grow. So my father was into everything natural, and so my hair has never been permed. Raised vegetarian, and he even got to the point where I had to make my own products. I mean, he was always into Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. That was fine for him because it didn't have like a bunch of chemicals and stuff into it. He considered it natural. So that was one thing. But then even stuff like lotions, like we only used castor oil and olive oil. But he wouldn't allow me at some point to use any products other than Dr. Bronner's soap. Woo. Oh my gosh. How am I talking and doing this at the same time? Okay, okay. Caesar, focus. So I have learned to make my own everything. I mean, I made my own lotions. I made my own, eventually, like a tinted lip stain once he allowed me to wear some form of makeup. And he started dating a model at some point, and she was really interested in me. I was 12, I think, and she was really interested in me developing as a woman. Now, she did not know that my father was abusing me, so she always talked about me getting a boyfriend and me being pretty and how I need to walk standing with my back straight and things like that. I go into more detail in my book, Unashamed of Life Tainted, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already, because I can't get into that whole story right now. But because she was a model, of course, she loved hair, makeup, things like that. So my father did start allowing me to wear like lip stains, well, not lipstick, but lip glosses. But then he did put the restriction that I could only wear them if I made them myself. So I figured out a way to make them myself. Around this same time, he became very obsessed with me. So going into my teenage years, now I'm developing breasts, my period came. He seemed to become what looking back, I realized he had like this obsession. He was involved in every detail. And the reason why I'm bringing this up when it comes to predators grooming children is because you have to watch out for those adults that find themselves very interested and very involved, overly involved, out of the ordinarily involved in a child's life, what they do, how they look, etc., specifically male. And the thing about my father, with him being a pedophile, is that by the time he started molesting my sisters, he really focused on our looks. So he applied his same beliefs dealing with the looks of women in general and applied them to us. So for him, you know, we were sexual creatures who he had to be attracted to, and how we looked, or if he considered us pretty or not, was of course very important. Specifically for me, I don't know if it was because I was the oldest. He was really focused and really involved in how I looked, and especially when he started dating the model, she did find it weird. She did address that, because she was like looking at him like a swad. Why are you so concerned? Why are you like, let the girl live, let the girl live? And he just wouldn't. So even with doing my hair, yes, it was natural. I went through different stages of taking care of it after my mom stopped doing it. And of course, I learned how to braid and cornrow because I did my sister's hair. When I was doing my own hair, I would twist it a lot, and then it was a distraction for me. Taking care of myself was a distraction for me. Now, I did go through a stage that I was trying to make myself ugly to my dad. Once I realized that, look, he was noticing my looks, and those kind of things are what drew him, because from my perspective, it was me that was causing him to abuse me. So I figured that I could deter him by then not taking care of myself. I stopped doing my hair. I stopped, wearing clean clothes. I stopped bathing, and that was around 11, 12 years old. And then the transition, that is when he met the model, and she noticed that I was not keeping myself up, and she tried to encourage me, taking care of myself and grooming myself as a young lady. Then he just decided to just focus like on me and my looks and my hair, and he got to the point when he realized that I was focused, at the encouragement of his girlfriend, that I was focused on doing in my hair, and I do like egg conditioners, because of course, remember, I was not allowed to use store-bought items, so I had to make as much of it myself as possible. So I was doing like mayonnaise hair conditioners and hot oil treatments using vegetable oils, anything that he would approve and be okay for me to do. He just noticed that, okay, well, I was doing it too much. So then he started limiting the types of hairstyles I would wear. So at some point I was doing twists, right? I was doing 2-strand twists all the time. And then for any of my followers who have noticed, my hair, I have what I call the Michael Jackson patch. This is hereditary, where the baby hairs, or if you want to say, the balding goes back kind of far. All of my kids have it as well. And I would brush this down with oil to try to lay it down. Well, my father decided to come and stop me from doing that. He refused to allow me, saying, no, you cannot brush your edges. Then next thing I know, I was not allowed to twist my hair anymore. Then the next thing was that I was not allowed to blow dry my hair anymore. So as I got older, he just started putting more and more restrictions on how I groomed myself. Now, when it comes to predators grooming children, they apply a lot of gaslighting and psychological abuse. And part of that is gifts, seduction, along with instilling fear. So while my father definitely instilled fear in me by beating me, by threatening for him to abuse my sisters, he also would go through these stages where he was, looking back now, what I call seducing me, but not in a way like a man seducing women. It was more of a giving me favor. And that is when my mom really started becoming jealous. So there were some times if I didn't do my everyday chores, while there were plenty of times he punished me in a horrendous way for not doing my chores, there were times that he let me off the hook. Now, I don't know if it was because he himself was trying to figure out this control and how to control me and how to get what he wanted without complaints or making himself feel bad. I don't know. That could have been part of it. But at the same time, it could have been very calculated. So when it comes to predators in general, I don't know where they get this information from. Is it something that's just in them that they use to impress on their victims in order to make their victims confused? I don't know. But my father confused the hell out of me because one day he was sodomizing me for taking his cheesecake without asking. And then another day he was buying me new shoes, which then made my sisters jealous or my mom jealous. So it was just like this kind of back and forth crazy. I don't know what to expect the next day. And, it went into just even my everyday grooming, doing my hair. He had a say about everything I did. All right. So you pretty much got the gist. And in that process, I think, is it even enough, y'all think? Let's see. No. Let's pick it out some more. I'm going to try and cut it as even as possible. I got some more here. Now I do want to be able to put products on it, mold it down, do other things. Let's go give myself a bang. Gosh, do stuff with it. That's a mullet, isn't it? Afro mullet. See how my ends are really straggly? I don't know if that's age. I don't know if that's stress. But basically, I'm just cutting these straggly ends down short enough to like where it's thicker, right? Professional hair cutters out there, don't judge me. I'm going with the flow. It's my hair. I'll just deal with whatever it comes out to be once I'm done. Yeah, I'm just grabbing and kind of feeling it out. See how it's thin on the ends? And then now let's see, can I braid this? Okay, I can still braid it because I am concerned about if I want to put in a protective style, right? Like crochet or what I just recently had, the faux locks. I do want to be able to do that so I can see. So I think that's short enough. Let's see. I know my back is uneven. It's gotta be. Once I get this kind of even, I will get back into my talking. Now, I believe I have an oval face, and I read that any hairstyle kind of works for an oval face. So I'm just gonna cut the hair round. As round as possible. I see more length there. I'm grabbing my hair and snagging it. Now it looks like there's really no point in even using these, right? They're so little. Why aren't I using clippers? I used my clippers on my sister's hair and I don't know where I put them. Oh, see, there's a long part. Get rid of you. Ooh. Now I do hope that when I put some mousse or something in it, I could lay it back, right? Or I could do it forward. And that's what we're going to check because I need to decide how I'm doing it for this event tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna go wash real quick, put some product in it, and come back and finish talking about grooming predators. Predators grooming children. Okay, and we're back. So I washed it with this. This is something different. I've never used this before. It's a curl defining shampoo and conditioner by Defeel. So I guess y'all will I'll give y'all an update on how it looks. If y'all could see my curls, I don't know. Go down in the comments, see, like, if y'all can tell me what curls I have, if it's 4C or 4B. I feel like there are some longer parts. Now that it's wet, I'm gonna just even out a little bit. And I wish I did not cut the front so low. Like I want it, well, I mean, you know what? If I lay it down and mold it and I give myself little bangs, I think that length will work. That length will actually work. And I know I want to do this, right? I know I want it long enough to go behind my ears. So that's just dry wash condition. I am going to put some leave-in conditioner and of course my castor oil. So I'll put the leave-in conditioner first. Ooh. And I guess I opened it already. Not a whole lot. Because my hair is very high porosity. As I was saying, moms, caregivers, grandparents, anyone who justly so has the protections of children in mind and care about the protection of children. I don't want to paranoia you. I don't want to create paranoia, but we do have to be aware of the people and their behaviors, people and their behaviors around children. So I could tell you some things to look out for when you are concerned. I'm not saying go looking at everybody like, oh, are you a pedophile? Are you a predator? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying be aware of behaviors that would be considered out of the ordinary, behaviors that for you just make you a little uncomfortable. And the thing is that I am very much aware that we bring our own experiences into situations. Like for me, when I first escaped my father, I was super sensitive about any man being around my children. But you know, once you get to a certain stage of healing, definitely a certain stage of education, of course, and understanding how things work and how people work and how they think, a better understanding and definitely a better connection with yourself and your own self, sense of empathy, sympathy, and intuition. Then you could be discerning, right? You can be discerning without being judgmental or applying your own experiences and traumas onto other people. For those of you who have not been traumatized as a child or have suffered any sort of abuse, sexual or otherwise, you know, go with your gut. Go with your gut. Like, I feel like as adults, we should be comfortable enough talking to each other to say, hey, you know, don't you think that the way you were holding so-and-so was a little too close? Like, she seemed uncomfortable. Like, I call people out. So one of the things to look for is how invested is an adult in a child, in the way they look and the way they carry themselves. And I'm not talking about, you know, mothers, because of course, so let's say you have a mom whose daughter is on television or a model. Of course, they're going to be very invested in the way they look, the way they carry themselves, the way they present themselves. And to a certain degree, I think we can see with some of these dads of sports stars like the Williams sisters, their dad was very invested in their development as athletes. So those kind of things, I understand that. But in the case with my father, and I have read many other cases where the parents isolated the children and then the father was very much invested. If you get a chance, look up the Browns. Look up the Browns. They are a pianist family, a family of pianists who turned out, or it was discovered, that the father was molesting and sexually abusing the daughters. The father was very invested in them. They were homeschooled. He was very involved in their development as pianists. And it just seemed like inappropriate. No, not just inappropriate, imbalanced. And I think when you see that with adults who are very much invested or showing a little too much extra attention or more attention to a specific child out of a group of other children, then that's when your spidey senses should go off. That's when you should be a little more concerned. As I said earlier, my father he seemed like obsessed with me. And the thing is that he had already isolated me and my family. My mom already knew what he was doing to me. So him being so interested and involved and dictating every little thing I did when it came to my hair or my face or my looks or my body, there was no one on the outside to recognize that except his girlfriend, who was a model, who did kind of look like, yo, like, why are you so, why are you so into your daughter, like, in a weird way? But she did not explore anything beyond that. So, that's my message for today. That's my message for this video. Just be aware. Just be aware. Recognize inappropriate behaviors between adults and children, and go and trust your gut. Trust your gut. There's no problem with asking questions. You know what I say, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Yeah, I'm sure people will get offended, but oh well, then they need to educate themselves if they aren't doing anything. All right, y'all. Teaching time is over. Let's see. What are we going to do about styling this baby? Again, I still see some areas. I like this because I want to do this, right? I want to do that because I like the way that shape gives. So I'm probably not going to wear it like this very often. I don't know. Or maybe I'll tie it down. But I put the leave-in conditioner in. I put the oil in. I did discover this new foam. So for this event tonight, I think I want it to be slicked. I don't know if I want it slick down, slick back, or slick forward, but we shall see. Let's see how this goes. So this is Nairobi's Recovery Volumizing Foam Defining Mousse for fine or thinning hair, and my hair is fine. So hopefully this will work. I do usually use the blue Nairobi mousse to kind of mold, and if I need like flyaways laid down. My son, his hair is kind of the same texture as mine, thicker, definitely thicker. So when I braid it, it comes out really easily. It's long, it's to his shoulders, but when I braid it, it starts frizzing up pretty easily, the shorter stuff. So, I'm supposed to shake it. Let's see here. Experimenting. So if I go back, I kind of have this tail thing. How are we going to deal with that, Aziza? Let's comb this through. So this is back, and I guess I naturally go back just because I like my hair pulled back in a ponytail. Yeah. What am I going to do with that? Am I just going to cut that? I should have did forward, but that's nothing special to even experiment with. So let's mess this up and start again. Now if we go forward, we got a little bang. It's like a little, I don't have a fine tooth comb, so we'll use this. Okay, I kind of like that. It's kind of Josephine bakery, right? Like a messy Josephine baker. It's not exactly finger waves, but it's wavy. All right, so you can see my scalp. That's because my hair is thin. Not thinning, it's just thin. I hope not thinning. So let me tie this down and get under the dryer. I'll be back. Speed this part up. Oh shoot. Damn it, battery.
Oh, it's about to die?
Yeah, but how? Okay.
What did you do to your hair?
Well, I guess.
Like, other than, like, did you, like...
I mean, I have another battery. All right. I don't know if it's completely dry. It kind of feels it. And I guess since my scalp started burning some, that would mean that it's dry, right? So let's... No, the back is still a little wet.
Ooh, okay. Oh my god. That looks so pretty.
But it didn't stay laid.
Yeah, but you got pins for that. It'll be a look.
Okay. So, as you can see, I mean, this would be one way to do it, I guess. It lifted up, which I didn't want it to do. I wanted it to stay laid down. So, I guess this is not for molding. It's for volumizing, foam defining, not necessarily for molding. Which means for the style that I imagine, that I want for this event tonight, I'm going to go ahead back to the blue. Put some of this, lay it back down, tie it down, and dry it. Again. It's a lot of product.
We don't have American cheese, do we?
Oh, I don't know. You have to check, Boo. I don't know, because I can't, it's hard for me to keep track of that stuff.
Well, which one do you know?
So that must mean he used the rest, right?
Yeah, I guess.
If he knows for a fact.
I want to beat him up. I feel like I can't eat grits without cheese.
There's cheddar cheese. You don't like grits with cheddar cheese?
No. I feel like only American cheese goes with grits.
Oh. Hopefully this will work. Now, this is the thing. Now, I don't like using a lot of product in my hair because I always wonder, ladies, when you put a whole bunch of gel and product in your hair, what if you want to make love? Can you close the door? Because there's a lot of noise coming in. Like, I be conscious of that. That's why even oil. Like, I use castor oil on my hair. But when I was dating, when I was seeing somebody, I'm not right now, focusing on work. I was always conscious of them, like, putting their hands in my hair and getting oil all over it. So how does it work? 'Cause I've watched some videos and there's like all of this gel and this product and that product. And so how does it work? This is really a tell here. How does it work when your man, your lover, wants to put their hands in your hair and it's all sticky or hard? Or I think about that stuff. And we gotta replace all of this again. Just gonna kind of let it do what it do naturally. But I guess that's why I like the Nairobi, because once it dries, it doesn't feel like a whole bunch of product in your hair. So if I did have a lover, then when he touched my hair, of course he would mess up this style, but he wouldn't get a bunch of crap in his hands. Okay, here we go again.
I mean, if you're about to start recording them.
I've already started.
Oh.
Don't mean this is the end. Alright. So we went in with the Nairobi. It feels like it's dry. My sideburns kind of lifted. So the first time I cut my hair, my father did give me permission to cut it. He was on this cutting his women's hair run. He made my mom cut her hair. His girlfriend he was dating, he had her cut her hair, and her hair used to be permed, so he was like, oh, you got to start over. Had her cut all her hair off. So I used the opportunity, since he wasn't letting me apply heat to my hair, he wasn't letting me style it the way I would like to. I ended up just wearing 2 braids like all the time, and I wanted to do something different because, you know, I'm a teenage girl. I still, even though I was dealing with everything that I was going through with his abuse, I was trying to find small things in my life to still enjoy. And self-care, once I got out of the stage of trying to deter him, realizing that didn't work, was part of the things that I did enjoy along with cooking. So when he said that it was okay for me to cut my hair, I was thrilled. Cut the sides down, cut the back, and then just had like the top, and he did let me twist the top. So that was the first time I cut my hair. After that, I tended to cut my hair every time I got pregnant. So I cut my hair again, completely shaved it off when I was pregnant with my son that, you know, he was the father of. And did I cut my hair again after that? Oh, and as I spoke about earlier, when I cut my hair after my daughter died. So I've not really ever been afraid of just like buzz cutting it. But this time, I guess because for work, I do a lot of outings, and you know, I was kind of conscious of having it short and not being able to like manage it at the drop of a dime, because sometimes my boss just calls me and there's an event happening and I have to get dressed real quick to go. And as you can see, for a pixie cut with my hair, I feel like I like a really nice, neat, clean look. And that takes time. Hopefully it stays down. I feel like the back isn't fully dry. Here we go. It didn't lift this time. Yay. Still a little hair. Ugh. I could probably put, maybe because I have too much hair brushed to that side. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, here we go. That's pretty much it. Put some edge gel on my sideburns. But as I said, this was one way. Alright, y'all, so that's it. I had to switch to my iPhone for this because my memory card on my camera got full. But here we go. Alright. So you'll probably be seeing me in other different styles with this. Probably just slip back. I have to fix this lifting right here. No, I don't know. It kind of gives a cute little shape that I kind of like. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Please like, share this video if you found it informative. Definitely go down in the comments and sound off. And until next time, be blessed, for you are a blessing. Bye. I started out in the rental sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice. They told me that less is simple. I'm observing in the room. I be flying all on the wall. Open mouth conversations. I leave you all in some awe. Cutting through the noise. I'm hoping I leave a scar. If you don't know where you been, how you knowing where you are? Let's cruise in the night. I'm grooving. Thought you said you was my type. I'm moving too slow. Text back like shit. I'm cool with it. I can match in the